Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long-range weather forecast discussion for September 1st to the 15th. First forecast for meteorological fall, which begins September 1st. We're going to first look at the period for September 1st to the 5th, and this is what we find here. We have a ridge in the west troughing in the east, and the trough over the northeast shifts further westward as we come to the period, and this will develop into a closed low over the Great Lakes later in the week. Now we have a frontal boundary across the south, and we'll go to the surface. Frontal boundary across the south that would bring a threat of rain and storms from the southwest and the Gulf Coast states. Shortwave energy will ride over the western ridge and support locally heavy rainfall for parts of the central states and Tennessee Valley Tuesday and Wednesday. So here we are Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's the rain that we're talking about here. This is the GFS. See, it has more rain. What is this? The European and the European ensembles doesn't have quite as much. And then the upper closed low across the Great Lakes will push a cold front through the eastern states, resulting in below normal temperatures and rain along the east coast later in the week. And here, as that front moves eastward, here's the front across this area here. Okay, looking ahead, this is for September 6th to the 10th. And what we have, most of the models are indicating more of a zone of flow, of a low amplitude flow by the end of the period, with the European digs a trough across the Great Lakes. So for this forecast period, I am calling for, the models haven't changed with the forecast, above normal temperatures here, with the anomalies near 8 degrees above normal here, below normal temperatures here, with the anomalies up to 4 to 8 degrees below normal. For precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation here and here. Probability of occurrence is up to 40%, especially across this area here. Above normal precipitation forecast for this region, probability of occurrence 35%. We're going to look ahead for September 11th to the 15th. Now, again, most of the models are indicating more of a zone of flow, but if you look at the European, has a trough up off the west coast, and a split flow here across the country with a bit of a weakness down here, but all in all, but a zone of flow, a low amplitude flow as they call it. So for this forecast period, I am calling for little change in the temperature anomalies, but I think the anomalies might be a little bit lower here, maybe 4 to 6 degrees below normal here. And for precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation here. And for this region, probability of occurrence 35%. Maybe a little bit higher here, still 35% for this area. And we have below normal precipitation from much of this region, and the probability of occurrence is up to 40%. Now we're going to take a look at the tropics again, and we're going to still monitor an area that we're watching that came off the African coast. So we're going to first look at the GFS. You see a little bit of spin right here across this area here. And then where does it go? It's right here. I think that curves more northward. And then we look at the European. Doesn't really show much of anything. Let's go back here a little bit. This is it right here. But keep in mind, if we have a ridge here, it could force it like more to the west as the European is showing. So we have plenty of time to watch this as days and days out. So that's it for today. That is a long-range weather forecast discussion for September 1st to the 15th. Thanks for coming, Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.